श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। Sairam, welcome back. Let's continue with Arjuna. Hope you're enjoying the narration. Yesterday we have seen how Arjuna was being helped by Bhagwan Sri Krishna in the battlefield from Karna. Let's continue. Driven to anger by the slaying of Dronacharya, valiant Ashwathama used Agneastra, the weapon causing fire, against the Pandavas. As soon as it was shot, showers of arrows hailed down from above and fire spread on all sides, followed by an Akashuni army. Arjuna alone was pitched against Ashwathama. Terribly hit by that weapon, his army was so badly scorched and burned that it was driven out of extinction, but the bodies of Sri Krishna and Arjuna were not the least affected. Ashwathama was amazed and worried as to how the two great souls could afford to be unaffected. Casting away the bow from his hand, he jumped off the chariot and left the battlefield crying out, Fee, fee. Meanwhile, he came across Vyasji. He made obeisances to him and asked him how it was that Sri Krishna and Arjuna were not the least affected by that all devastating weapon. Vyasji said, Sri Krishna is the manifestation of the Rishi named Narayana, and Arjuna is the manifestation of the Rishi named Nara, and is as glorious as Narayana himself. These two Rishis manifest themselves age after age to keep people within the proper limits of righteousness. Hearing these words of Vyasji, Ashwathama's doubts were removed and he developed an esteem for Sri Krishna and Arjuna. These words of Vyasji go to prove the identification of Arjuna and Sri Krishna. As it was, Arjuna was the favorite of Sri Krishna, but he enjoyed the inordinate grace of Lord Shankara as well. During the battle, when he was wreaking havoc on the opposite army, he always noticed a sublime person like fire ablaze, always moving in front of chariot. In fact, it was he who was destroying the enemy forces, but people wrongly credited Arjuna for the work. He was invested with the three folk lanes and was refulgent like the sun. During the conversation with Vyasji, he told Arjuna that he was none else but Shankara himself. There is nothing to wonder at it if others bestow their grace on one who enjoys the favor of Lord Krishna. जा पर कृष्णा राम के होय, ता पर कृष्णा करही सब कोय. He who enjoys the favor of Lord Rama virtually receives the favor of all. Besides being a great devotee and a favorite of the Lord, Arjuna had many other virtues also. It was but natural, just as shafts of light accompany the sun, so also other divine virtues concord with adoration of the Lord. He was patient, brave, compassionate, tender hearted, true to his vows, and exercised control over his senses. He had in him inborn divine qualities. Sri Krishna has affirmed this in the Gita saying, Sampad Daivim Bhijatosmi Sampadam Sampadam Daivimabhijatosmi. At the time of his birth, the oracle spoke, O Kunti, this child will grow to be as valiant as Kartavirya Arjuna and Lord Shankara and shall enhance your prestige by becoming unconquerable like Indra. Just as Vishnu had pleased his mother Aditi, in the same way, he will provide you joy. This voice was not only heard by Kunti but by all. The sages, the gods, and all living beings were pleased to hear this. Trumpets were blown from above and flowers were strewn. In this way, his divinity was evident since his very birth. When he grew up, the task of teaching him, his brothers and Duryodhana, etc., the sons of Dhritarashtra, was first entrusted to Kripacharya and then to Dronacharya. Karna, commonly known as Sutaputra, also received his education along with Arjuna. Of all the disciples of Dronacharya, Arjuna alone surpassed all in the field of education, physical power, effortlessness, swiftness, and adroitness, and in the exercise of all types of weapons. He served Dronacharya wholeheartedly. Being pleased with his service, devotedness, and intelligence, one day Dronacharya said to him, I shall see that no man in the world stands a match for you in archery. Can the firm resolve of an accomplished preceptor like Dronacharya ever remain unfulfilled? Arjuna indeed turned out as the best archer in the world. When the Pandavas and the Kaurava princes completed practices in the exercise of weapons and the occasion for playing the feast to the preceptor cropped up, Drona, the preceptor, said to them, make Drupada, the king of Panchala, a captive in the battlefield and bring him here. This would be the best fee that you can possibly pay me. All of them cheerfully agreed to carry out the orders of their preceptor, and having equipped themselves with proper arms and riding in chariot, his chariot invaded the capital of King Drupada. When they reached there, the king of Panchala, accompanied by his brothers, encountered them. At first, the Kauravas had made an attack on him all by themselves, but were obliged to retreat after being defeated by the king of Panchala. Lastly, Arjuna, accompanied by Nakula and Sahadeva, attacked King Drupada. In the twinkling of an eye, Arjuna overpowered King Drupada and, making him a captive, escorted him to Dronacharya. This event earned Arjuna an universal recognition of his valor. That's how Arjuna has uh, paid the fee for his guru by showing his talent in what the guru has asked them to do. That's all for today. So, see you tomorrow. Until next. Sai Ram. Today I would like to sing a small bhajan in the name of the Lord Bhagavan Krishna. Nandalala yedu Nandalala, Nandalala yedu Nandalala, Brindavana Govindalala, Brindavana Govindalala, Radha Madhava Nandalala, Radha Madhava Nandalala, Radha Priyalola Nandalala, Radha Priyalola Nandalala, Radha Priyalola Nandalala. May the Nandalala bless us all with divine knowledge. Sai Ram.